Hello and welcome back to today's show. This is your guy Obi as usual. Today we'll be talking about the English Premier League. Who can win the English Premier League? Is it a league that is there for the taking for anyone? Because what we are looking at is a situation where you never tell what to expect from any team this season, right? Last season, you could tell Liverpool at this stage after 13 games, Liverpool were 37 points. They had only drawn once and they had won 12 of their first matches. Yeah. But this time around, Liverpool can lose home and away. Manchester City is not looking the team that we all know that it is. People like Raheem Sterling, who was actually interviewed and asked this question were in their game against West Brom Albion, where they drew 1-1. He was asked what is going on, and the answer he gave was uh, like the teams, the big boys, talking about the likes of Liverpool, Tottenham, Leicester, Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, that they are fatigued. Of course, I that is one point, and I quite agree with him that these big teams, they've had a lot of games so squeezed together. The schedules have not been so good on them because they have been playing. For those ones that are playing Europa League, others are playing Champions League. They don't have enough time to rest. They have to be squeezed. The schedules are very close, and there's no even time for healing whenever maybe a team has an injury or for example talking about Liverpool that has had a lot of injuries this season, so there's no time for players even to heal from minor knocks. And for Raheem Sterling says this is one thing that has contributed to this unfamiliar scenario at the Premier League. And so that's not the only fact, that's not the only cause of this. Of course, he has asked why is it that Manchester City, without major injuries, why are they not performing? And he could not answer that because all that reasons around that is that there is more than just uh, the, the schedule of games. He failed to say things like, for me, if I was Raheem Sterling, I could also say that the mid-table teams, right? The mid-table teams are now catching up with the big boys because you cannot differentiate uh, between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Those teams, whenever they meet, you will not never predict which team is gonna win any the game because right now it's like teams are playing on a fair ground. First, they haven't been the presence of fans, which has been a major contributor to the most of the teams, especially when you go to places like Liverpool. The fans have been there like the 12th 12th player. When you go to places like Manchester United at the Old Trafford, yeah, whether Manchester United played badly, the morale and the environment there will, you know, positively impact the team and they get results. And so, looking at now, this is now what we are seeing. Liverpool, of course, before recording this video, Manchester United is playing, but maybe after this match, I know Manchester United might win this match, and maybe they will, because at the moment Manchester United is at 23 points. So if they win, they'll come to 26 points, which means they go up how many positions? One, two, three, four. That's how close the Premier League is. You win one match, you jump four places up. And Manchester United, I think, if they win, of which I think they will be in position number 2 with 26 points. 4 weeks ago, Manchester United were down there at position number around 13, right? They are only won 2 games, and the table is changing week in, week out. Yeah, and so it's so interesting. It's so interesting. Why is the Premier League behaving so strange this time around? Of course, there haven't been fans in stadiums. Of course, fans are major contributor to some teams performing, and we have seen these teams like Manchester City, right? They don't look like the teams that we have known them to be. They can win at the same time they can lose at the same rate, because a game like a team like West Brom is not supposed to draw against Manchester City at home at Etihad. And it was so strange when that game ended 1-1. So strange, you cannot explain what is going on, because the players, Manchester City has the players, top class players. What is missing is now the big question: why is Manchester City not performing, right? And we are looking at some other teams like Everton, Leicester City, Southampton, yeah, who are really emerging to be major competitors for the top spots. Teams like Arsenal. Let me go down to Arsenal. Arsenal is 15th with 14 points after playing 13 games. 13 games, 14 points. So strange. This is the worst performance ever since Arsenal were promoted into the English Premier League. The worst performance ever, right? And so the big question is, what is the major cause of all that we are seeing in the English Premier League, right? Because Liverpool, who are the league leaders, have lost games they were not supposed to win, to lose. Yeah, they lost 7-2, which was very shocking, even before the injuries. Of course, we know Liverpool have had a lot of injuries this season, but even before the injuries, they never looked to be the team they were last season, because when they lost against Aston Villa, people like Van Dijk were present, right? They were there. It's only that, things have changed, and the mid-table teams that we used to think that these are just pushovers, they just are pace setters, they're now both players at the right positions, and those players are looking so good compared to players that have been performing dismally, right, without notice, among the top teams, right? Looking at just a classical example, look at Arsenal team, right? The first 11 in an Arsenal team compared to the first 11 in what? Let's say Aston Villa, right? Starting from the goalkeeper is Bernd Leno against Emiliano Martinez. For me, of course, Emiliano Martinez left Arsenal for Aston Villa, but Emiliano Martinez is a better keeper than Bernd Leno. This one is debatable, but for me, I think, and I believe Emiliano Martinez is better than Bernd Leno. Yeah, we are looking at players like Jack Grealish. Does Arsenal have a player like that, like Jack Grealish in their team? The answer is a definite no, right? The strikers, I mean, you can only pick like 3 players that can go to Aston Villa. You can only pick 3 players from Arsenal who can feature in an Aston Villa's first team, right? But you can pick around 10 players, 8 to 10 players from Aston Villa's team that can walk into an Arsenal team, and that applies to most of these big teams. Talking about Manchester United, what is there to take home from their defense? Talking about Lindelof, talking about Maguire, who is overrated. I don't know. There are many defenders in the English Premier League right now. Yeah, like for today, I saw people like was it today or last? Was it today? There's this defender from which team is this? The team that was playing Aston Villa today. The name is me. Somebody me. The guy is so good. Yeah, but looking at the team that he's playing for, a mid-table team, right? I think it's Burnley, but it's called Me from Burnley, and so that's a player that can walk into an Arsenal team. That's a player that can walk into a Chelsea team anytime. But because he's playing in that mid-table team, he's not noticed because it's not. I mean, he has to feature on a higher level for him to be noticed. And so these are some of the things that have contributed to a dismal performance for the big boys. And I think the mid-table teams and even the bottom table teams, right, have identified where they are lacking, and they have bought players, the right players for their team. And now the difference is almost like zero. There's nothing that Chelsea can do that Aston Villa cannot do, right? If it's defending, they can defend. If there's attacking, they can attack. Looking at teams like Leeds, who can score goals anywhere, whether home or away. You know, whenever you're meeting a team like Leeds, you have to expect Leeds to score. Whether you're playing against Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, we cannot even mention. And so, I don't know. So, who is going to win the Premier League? That is the question. Still, from what we are seeing, there is no clear favorite to win the English Premier League. Unlike last season, where Liverpool were clear favorites. After like 10 games, they were already gone. They had already distanced themselves from the rest. But right now, Liverpool 28 points, Manchester United 26, Tottenham 25, Southampton 24, Leicester 24, Everton 23, Chelsea 22, right? Chelsea, who everybody, like most of the fans, thought maybe from with the way they started the Premier League, and with the kind of reinforcement they brought in during the summer transfer window, everybody was thinking that Chelsea, the worst they can get to is number 2 or number 3. But recently they have lost 2 out of 2, which is so strange, and that begs the question: are they really title favorites, right? Because there has been talk there has been talk out there amongst the fans that Chelsea is one of the teams that is touted to win the Premier League this season. But will they win the Premier League if they lose 2 games in a row, right? And we never know, right? Next they are facing is it West Ham, which is also a good team. With West Ham, you cannot predict the outcome of that match because it's a team that can surprise you anytime. They have strong players. They have a good manager. The players are very tall, physical, and yeah. And so it's so interesting. So I really want this one to be so engageful, so that I just want to get to get suggestions and ideas and thoughts from the fan bases, both Liverpool, Tottenham, Southampton, Leicester, Everton, Manchester United, Chelsea, West Ham, Manchester City, Wolves, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Newcastle, Arsenal, Brighton, Burnley, Fulham, West Brom Albion, Sheffield United. Just want to know, who do you think is going to win this Premier League? Because for me, I cannot tell. It's so hard to tell because there are no indicators whatsoever. At first, I actually remember the first video I did on this channel, I put Manchester City on top, and then I said Liverpool to finish like third, and then Chelsea to finish second. But ever since, I've changed my stance over and over, and I really don't want to change now. I just want to leave it there, let fate decide. But before it gets to 20 games, I just want to know from the fans that are watching this video, who do you think has the stakes to win the Premier League this season? Is there any clear favorite, or the title, the Premier League title is there for the taking for anyone. So that's about my time. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Thank you.